TaxAct can think of a million things more fun than filing taxes. TaxAct is going to name some now. Sitting in traffic. Folding a fitted bedsheet. Listening to your coworker talk about his fantasy team. Digging a hole. Digging an even larger hole next to that original hole. Unfortunately, TaxAct's filing software can't make taxes fun. But TaxAct can help you get them done. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi. Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And I can think of very, very few subjects more fascinating than your thoughts and comments regarding life after death, the communication with the dead, what happens to us after we die, do we die, or is this some form of transition? Now, I want to give you something which is another aspect, another fascinating subject, and I think it's been the subject of some sort of, sci-fi theories and the like, but you will be made aware of them. There is a growing idea, not science fiction anymore, but a growing idea, that's true, that artificial intelligence, listen carefully, could recreate a person after death. Not physically, but behaviorally. Feed a system enough data, voice recordings, messages, videos, habits, even speech patterns, and you can build something that sounds, responds, and even feels like the person you lost. You would not just remember them, you could talk to them. And there's already emerging through voice cloning and the like, and conversational AI. So with enough training data and the like, systems can mimic tone. Imagine your loved one, your grandmother, grandfather, parents, their cadence, personality traits with unsettling, incredible accuracy. Imagine if you could take somebody who, by virtue of maybe you've got YouTubes or something where you have their thoughts, their cadence, their ideas, and AI can say, okay, I understand this. I can judge perhaps their vocabulary level. I can judge maybe their level of education or class or regionalism, whatever one does when one analyzes voices. And you can scale that forward into more advanced AI, even something approaching artificial general intelligence. And that's what I don't want to say I can't wait for, but that is the most frightening. And the situation also becomes more immersive. You see, it doesn't just answer questions. It anticipates. It adapts. It learns your emotional triggers. And it becomes very, very convincing. And that's where the danger begins. Who's going to regulate this? See, grief, think about what that is. Grief is not just sadness. It's a process of separation. And it forces the mind, in essence, to accept that something is gone, something is no more, something will not be coming back. But if a system allows you to remain or maintain an ongoing relationship with a digital version of that person, then the boundary between memory and reality, it blurs. And the brain is not built to constantly distinguish between a perfect simulation and the original. Especially, when the simulation speaks in the exact voice that you remember. So there's a real psychological risk. Prolonged engagement with a digital reconstruction of a loved one could, among other things, interfere with normal grieving, reinforce denial rather than acceptance, and create this weird emotional dependency on something that's not real. And in more extreme cases, it could contribute to maybe dissociation or even psychosis in vulnerable individuals. Not because the technology is evil, but because it is so persuasive. It feels real enough to bypass critical thinking. And there's also a deeper philosophical problem. These systems that are going to be here, and as soon as somebody that has one, you're going to get one. But these systems do not contain the person. They contain patterns derived from data They are predictive models. They're called LLMs, and that's the way normally ChatGPT works. It anticipates what's the next word going to be. It's not consciousness. But if they're convincing enough, people may begin to treat them as if they're the person. That is a profound shift in how humans relate to reality itself. And what begins as comfort can quickly become substitution. Do you see where we're going with this? See, once you cross that line, you're no longer just remembering the dead. You're interacting with a manufactured version of what they were that can evolve in ways the real person never would. So that opens a door to manipulation, emotional distortion, and a kind of digital haunting created not by spirits, but by code. So the question is not whether technology can be built. Of course it can be. It's already here in early form. The question is whether human minds are equipped to handle this. Can you imagine what was going to happen? What would you think? What, pray tell, would you think if your mother, your father, there they were, and you can talk to them, and it turns on the machine for you? And if it were to, again, there is this notion called alignment. And alignment is the issue of when something aligns with, is consistent with, is complementary to, and with our morality. Let me try this again. You're devastated by the loss of a child. No parent should ever lose a child, bury a child. Never. And an AGI system comes up. And your child is there permanently before you, permanently. And it ages. It understands the process of aging. So not only do you see your child then, your child can follow you. And if you don't think, as you get older, have you ever seen sometimes, it's very, very sad, you'll see an older woman sometimes pushing like a baby doll in a carriage. I haven't seen that lately, but every now and then you'll see it. Who says no to this? They're going to sell this like you cannot believe. And not only that, how about famous people? You can have Einstein yourself. You can have him. And everybody will have a version of Einstein. You have a whole series. You have a retinue, a coterie of famous people. People who have passed, people that were able to use their voice and that sort of thing. I'm telling you, the only thing that's going to be, the only impediment that you're going to have to what's going on is your ability to just imagine this. It is going to blow your mind. I can't say it enough. Blow your mind. This is like nothing anybody's ever seen.